These are the NBA Nepo babies that failed, starting with Zaire Wade. From the moment he touched a basketball, Zaire Wade was living the dream. The son of Dwyane Wade, he was a middle school phenom with millions of views on YouTube before he ever played a varsity game. To many, he was the heir to a legacy, a kid seemingly destined for greatness. But fast forward to today, and the once highly publicized next Wade is nowhere near the NBA spotlight. Zaire's rise came during the era of the NBA's Big Three and the mixtape boom, a flashy handle, a smooth mid-range jumper, and the pedigree of an NBA legend. Zaire became a staple of viral highlight reels. He wasn't just Dwyane Wade's son. He was an athletic, high IQ shooting guard who looked like he had the tools to make it. At American Heritage High School, Zaire began carving out a real path, earning D1 interest despite not cracking the top 100 in national rankings. He showed glimpses, that quick burst to the rim, a solid pull-up game, and fans waited for his father's elite DNA to kick in. But the turning point came during his transfer to Sierra Canyon for his senior year. Joining Bronny James and a lineup of five-star recruits brought media frenzy. Unfortunately, an ankle injury limited him to just 3 games and 4 points per contest. His father publicly questioned the coaching staff, but the truth was harsh. Zaire hadn't earned a larger role. Desperate to salvage his standing, he transferred to Brewster Academy for a post-grad year, a final chance to prove himself. Schaffer came in, but only from mid-majors. Then came the decision that changed everything. Zaire Wade turned down college to join the G League. This was a disaster. Look, if you've been watching basketball long enough, you know the G League isn't about development. It's a battleground for individual glory. 4 guys on your team and 5 on the other trying to make the league. No chemistry, no patience, and certainly no space for raw talent still figuring it out. Zaire simply wasn't ready. With help from his father, who owns a stake in the Utah Jazz and its G League affiliate, Zaire joined the Salt Lake City Stars. But the results? Brutal. He averaged 2.3 points per game on 26% shooting from the field, and a miserable 18% from 3. Despite elite genetics, he looked lost out there. The problems were glaring. A weak right hand, a thin frame that couldn't take contact, and inconsistent shooting. The flashy, mixtape-friendly game just didn't translate. While Dwyane Wade became a legend by mastering the mid-range, bulldozing through traffic, defending relentlessly, and sharpening his mind into a weapon, Zaire's game felt half-finished. He wasn't just failing to live up to his father's shadow, he couldn't even stick in the G League. After a long recovery from injury, Zaire made a move to the Basketball Africa League in 2023, playing 4 games and averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Admirable effort, but not enough. He declared for both the 2023 and 2024 G League drafts, and went undrafted both times. If the G League doesn't want you, the NBA definitely doesn't. It's sad, honestly. Zaire clearly works hard and he's trying to stay afloat. But the path he chose didn't give him space to grow. Unlike his father, who fought his way out of obscurity and molded himself into a star, Zaire grew up in the spotlight. Private schools, viral attention, Mercedes G-Wagons by middle school. It's hard to build that underdog edge when you've never truly been the underdog. Before Zaire, there was Patrick Ewing Jr. If the last name Ewing sounds familiar, it should. Patrick Ewing Jr. had all the tools, genetics, access, and opportunity. But following in the footsteps of a Knicks legend turned out to be an impossible task. After a strong high school career, Ewing Jr. committed to Indiana, but found himself stuck at the end of the bench. He transferred to Georgetown, his father's alma mater, and slowly carved out a role, eventually winning Big East's Sixth Man of the Year. But he wasn't his dad. Standing 6'8" with an 8'1" standing reach, he didn't have the size to be a true post player and didn't have the perimeter game to be a modern forward. He had hustle, energy, and effort, but no real offensive bag. Still, he was drafted in the second round in 2008 by the Kings and later ended up with the Knicks, his father's team. It was a feel-good moment, but it didn't last. After a few preseason games, he was released. The Knicks gave him another shot via the G League, where he averaged 17 points, but then he got injured. After a short stint with the Hornets in 2011, he realized the NBA wasn't going to work out. He headed overseas, playing in Greece, Spain, and Germany. Was it disappointing? Sure, but he gave it everything. Then came the sons of the GOAT, Jeff and Marcus Jordan. Being Michael Jordan's son comes with insane pressure, and for Jeff and Marcus Jordan, it proved to be too much. Jeff, the older brother, was never a star, but he got recruited anyway walking on at Illinois. After 2 quiet seasons, he quit, then came back, then transferred to UCF to play with Marcus. He played 15 games, then walked away. Marcus, on the other hand, had more game. He led his high school to a state title and averaged 15 points per game in college. But that was the ceiling. He was an undersized slasher who didn't defend well, couldn't shoot the three, and didn't facilitate. A solid college player, nothing more. Off the court, the issues mounted. Marcus made headlines for partying, spending big in Vegas, and eventually dating Larsa Pippen, the ex-wife of his dad's teammate Scottie. MJ publicly disapproved. Then in 2024, Marcus was arrested for DUI, cocaine possession, and resisting arrest. Jeff had his own moment in 2021 when he allegedly assaulted hospital staff after a bar injury. The Jordan sons didn't just fall short on the court. Off it, they've struggled even more. Now here's where things take a wild turn. Enter Bryan Colangelo. He was once seen as a respected executive in the NBA, leading the Philadelphia 76ers after Sam Hinkie's trust the process era. At first, it looked like Colangelo was the guy to clean things up, stabilize the franchise, and turn the young core into a winning machine. But then, the internet found something strange. Multiple anonymous Twitter accounts started popping up. Accounts that just so happened to defend Colangelo from criticism, leak behind-the-scenes info, and even bash 76ers players, including Joel Embiid and Jahlil Okafor. Fans and online detectives began connecting the dots, and the deeper they dug, the messier it got. Turns out those burner accounts were linked to Colangelo's own wife. She admitted to running them, but the damage was done. This wasn't just a PR nightmare. It was a total meltdown of trust inside the organization. Not long after the scandal exploded, Bryan Colangelo was forced to resign. Just like that, his front office career in the NBA came crashing down. From leading a rebuild to being exposed by burner accounts, Colangelo's fall from grace is still one of the strangest scandals in modern sports history. In the end, not every legacy story has a happy ending. Zaire Wade, Patrick Ewing Jr., Jeff and Marcus Jordan. They all had the names, the access, and the cameras. But the NBA doesn't care about names. You need the skills, the mindset, and the grind. And that's something you can't inherit. The legacy might open the door. But talent, real, elite, game-changing talent, that's something you have to earn. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're pushing for 10K by the end of the year. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.